gotta love your brother as you love yourself. You don't have no love in these last days, man. You got a lot of foolish and effeminate men that are hating on men because of what so-called doctrine they teach. When really none of them really truly understand the doctrine that's in the scriptures, man. Right? The scriptures tell you what the doctrine actually is, man. And it's the doctrine of life in the book of Sirach, chapter 19. From 19 on down to the spirit. All right, go ahead, read.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
And the Lord says he's asking a question, man. Who's gonna get the courage within themselves, like the Lord said in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 6 on down. Hey, David encouraged himself within the Lord, man, to stand up on the behalf of his people and to go make war with the heathen, man. You know, get that account real quick, Bible shot. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and start at verse 5 and go on down. Right, this is an account of a man standing up against the evildoers, man. Rising up against the workers of iniquity.
Book of 1 Samuel?
Chapter 30.
Oh, chapter 30.
1 Samuel chapter 30. Excuse me, how y'all doing today, family?
Hey.
Y'all got 2 minutes for a Bible verse?
No, not right now.
Alright, well, according to the Bible, y'all will be God's chosen people, the Israelites. You gotta repent, keep the commandments. Go ahead.
Right.
30, and give me verse, start at verse 1. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1.
Look at 1 Samuel, chapter 30, starting at verse 1.
All right.
And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south.
You're going to find out who the Amalekites are. The Amalekites are those who claim to be the true Jews, man. And that's why the Lord told the men of the Lord to kill the Amalekites, because they was wicked, man. You know, but that's another topic for another day. We'll go ahead and read, King.
And Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag.
So they invaded the south. The south is where Judah, Benjamin, and Levi dwelt, man. Right? The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are God's chosen people according to the Bible. You got to repent and keep the commandments in these last days. Right? Like the scriptures say, the south is where Judah, Benjamin, and Levi dwelt, the southern kingdom. And the Amalekites, they invaded the south, man. And what else happened, King?
And Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag.
Right?
And burned it with fire.
And the Ziklag was, like they got modern day terms, it was like a county or a city in Jerusalem, huh? And they, read that last part again, what you just read? At the latter end.
And burned it with fire.
And they burned it with fire, man. That's wicked. How you gonna go to another people's town and burn it with fire? You know? So they declare war against the men of the Lord, the chosen people. Right? The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. And what the men of the Lord do? Can you read it?
And had taken the women captive,
right?
That were therein.
And they took our women. Right? Go ahead.
They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way.
So they didn't kill our women, but they took them and, you know, the great and the small women. The chiefest of their princesses, and then the lowest. They took them and made them their slaves, man. Their handmaids and their servants. All right, go ahead.
So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire.
So all the men of the Lord, they were out and about doing their, you know, their godly things. And when they came back, the city was burned with fire, man. They're like, what the hell is going on? You know? They took out women, they, you know, knocking on the doors, honey, I'm home. And they, you know, ain't nobody answering. So what the hell is going on? And they found out that the Amalekites burnt the city with fire, man. Go ahead.
And their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captive.
And just imagine how tragic that may seem, man. You come back and your house is invaded, your sons and your daughters are gone, and it's just men standing there. It kind of vexed me right now. So I know how it how it made them feel. You know, go ahead.
Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept.
They said, Yahweh, By Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, they called into the name of the Lord, man. They're like, Lord, help us. You know, all our belongings have been taken from us. Go ahead.
Until they have no more power to weep.
And they wept all night long until they were weary, man. Just imagine that. Imagine crying all day long until you ain't got no more power in your vessel, man. Hey, that's the type of spirit that, you know, that our forefathers had. And the men of the Lord nowadays don't have that spirit no more, man. The Lord said that the elect are sighing and crying on the behalf of their people. And that's an account right there, man. The Lord told the angels to set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry. So if you're not in this type of spirit, hey, more than likely you're not of the elect, man. Right? You know, sighing and crying all night long until you're weak. You can't move no more, man. Right, go ahead.
And David's 2 wives were taken captive.
Right.
Ahinoam and the Jezreelites.
The Jezreelites, right, go ahead.
The Jezreelites. And Abigail, the wife of Nabal.
Right.
The Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed.
Hey, these men were distressed in their spirit, man. You know, go ahead.
For the people spake of stoning him.
So they came to David and was like, hey man, you're supposed to be the man of the Lord. You know, how the hell did this happen in your hands? You're supposed to be our mightiest warrior. You know, the king. You know, what happened? They was like, hey, listen. They came up with a secret council, man, to slay the man of the Lord. So that's kind of like Yahweh Shai, man. You know, he knew that the people was gonna conspire against him. So he was like, hey, you know, I need to go see I need to go see the Lord, man. I need to go talk to the Lord and inquire about these things. Right, go ahead.
Because the soul of all the people were grieved, every man for his sons.
So they kind of got cornered with it, man.
For his daughters.
And they forgot that the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, is the one who has brought these things, man. So they went to the nearest thing to him, and it was King David. You know, and they started to put the blame on his head. You know, but if you understand the scriptures, you know why these things happen. You know, go ahead.
But David encouraged himself in the Lord of power.
And that's Psalm 94 and 16 right there, man.
Right.
He encouraged himself in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, and through the Spirit, and you got that happening on a mass level in these last days, man. You know, certain men are going out and risking their lives to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom and all the other nations. Right. You know, and also to prophesy the uprising of the nation of Israel, man. You know, prophesying that the Lord gonna come back and set us up above our enemies like he promised us, man, if we keep his commandments as a nation and have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Because the Lord said without faith and your works, hey, you know, you ain't got nothing, man.
I believe it.
You know, and at one point in time we didn't have either. You know, but now we got faith, and the Lord is putting the Spirit on us to understand what our works are, what our works is, man.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
And David said to Abiathar, the priest.
What's going on, brother? What's happening? You got 2 minutes for a Bible verse? Sure. All right. If I had to, I'm gonna ask you a question, brother. What's your nationality? Don't put you on the spot. African American. You do believe in the Bible and the Most High God, right? So can you go in the Bible and find that term, African American?
I cannot.
So why is it that we as a people call ourselves that when that's not what God calls us? That's a good question. It's a very good question that needs to be answered at this time. Because we've been going on it for hundreds of years calling ourselves different terms. Right? And what was it, the 1980s? Jesse Jackson, he coined that term African American. But before that, what were we called? They called us Negroes. Oh, yeah, right. I'm learning. Before that, they called us niggas. Before that, they called us niggers with an R. So why is it that our name changed over a certain dispensation of time? What is it that these people know about us that they don't want us to know? That they have to put negative connotations on us. They call us black now. Right? And if you really do some studying the term African American, that is the name of two different continents.
Right.
Can you be from two continents at the same time? Not physically, no. So why is it that when us calling ourselves that, we will be destroyed for a lack of knowledge? Right? Because chiefly those two continents are named after two white men, Leo Scipios Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci. Clearly, we are not descendants of two Europeans, which goes back to our slave masters. If you really do I'm pretty sure you know, those people are the ones that conquered us.
Right.
So we will be destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we're going to find out what the Lord truly called us in the Bible. Right? And we're going to go through it. Let's get Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's start at Jeremiah 17 and 4. Right? Real brief. Jeremiah 17 and 4. Right? Because it's important to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you never know where you're going. You never know your future. So we have to go to the past to understand that. Whoever got Jeremiah 17, go ahead and bring it out.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy
So
inheritance.
Jeremiah the prophet said, you and your people are going to be discontinued from your heritage. Weren't we discontinued from the landmaster we had, and the name that we were called? Now we are called something else. So the Lord is speaking to a specific people. Y'all got 2 minutes. Come here to word of the Lord, brothers. Right, go ahead.
That I gave thee,
That the Lord gave them, right?
and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Is it a fact that we were servants to another nation of people?
No.
It's not.
You said what now?
I said, is it a fact that we were servants to another nation of people?
Oh yeah.
It's a fact. The Lord is speaking to his people right here. He said, you have to say that, read that again.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies
Where?
in the land which thou knowest not.
Is it also a fact that we were servants in a landmass we did not know of?
Yeah.
So, could we say that this correlates with our history thus far? And that the Lord is talking to us? That's true. So we're going to continue to elaborate even more. Right? And Jeremiah and his people, they have a name. You know what the name of God's chosen people is? Or did you even know that God had a chosen people?
No, I didn't know.
Well, today is your lucky day, brother. Isaiah 44, verse 1. Right, if you want, you can get 7 and 6. What would you like to do?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 1.
All right?
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
So the name of the chosen people is Israel. Right? So within that, we must find out who the chosen people are. Because there's a nation of people that claim to be the chosen people. They call themselves Jewish, right? If they are the chosen people, then they will fit the things that God said will happen to them, correct? Jeremiah told his people, which is also God's chosen people, that they will be servants to another nation of people in a landmass that they did not know about. Does that fit those Jewish people?
No.
Who does that fit? Predominantly. Us. So we're going to get a little bit deep. Give me Deuteronomy 11 and 26.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 26.
What we're about to read is the covenant that God made with his chosen people. Right, go ahead.
Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse.
So he's giving them two options. You either be blessed or you be cursed. Right, go ahead.
A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
One of those options is you're obedient to the Lord your God, you'll be blessed. Let's see the other option.
Which I command you this day, and a curse if ye would not obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
Would you say that we as a nation of people are cursed? As a whole nation? You said, yeah?
I think so.
I believe that too. Don't y'all?
I do.
Hey,
Not only that, I know.
it's a fact.
Well, yeah.
We live in Section 8 housing. We're the last hired and the first fired.
Shot down in the street.
Shot down in the streets. No justice, no peace.
Yeah.
You know, they invading our households without what's the paper they gotta have?
A warrant.
A warrant. a search warrant. They're invading our households and shooting us while we sleep in our household.
Definitely correct. Like you said it. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Now we're gonna go through some of the curses that the Lord put on His people, and you let me know by way of these curses if this is happening to your people or has happened to your people, or if this is happening to somebody else. Whoever these curses fall upon will be God's chosen people for a fact, based off of geography, history, and more so Bible prophecy. All right, so let's get Deuteronomy 28 and start at 15.
Book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Right?
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it's gonna happen in the future. That if you Israelites aren't obedient to the Lord your God, what's gonna happen?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, he shall command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Not only is these curses going to happen to you, but they're going to be so much of a burden unto you that you're not going to be able to do anything about these curses. So let's read. We're going to read through some of the curses. We're going to get maybe about 4 or 5. And you let me know if this is your history or if this is somebody else's. If this is your history, you will be an Israelite. God's chosen people. You and your nation of people. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So in your living conditions, in every city across the globe that you live in will be poor. You'll be at the bottom of the societal class. And also, you'll be cursed in the field, meaning what? You'll be, if you look at this sign here, that's a well-known history. We were cursed in the field. That didn't happen to no other nation of people, but the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Right? Even though the black man is in the fields right now, you got the so-called Mexicans or the Hispanics in the fields right now. Picking watermelons and strawberries. That will pinpoint who God's chosen people are. Right? Let's get another curse. Get Deuteronomy 28, 54.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
Right?
and very
So
delicate,
the Lord said, even the man that is cordial among you, you know, can walk up to you, brother, how you doing today? You all right? Your family good? Your wife good? You got everything you need? Or if not, you know, you hit my line, brother, now, you know, I'll try to do something for you. That the Lord said was once in effect, but now what?
his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Now, these chosen people, they have an evil eye towards their own people. Meaning what? I'm walking up to my own brother, and I'm looking at him up and down, wondering what's in his pocket. Hey, you know, he got a nice chain on. You know, what's he trying to do? I'm down if you down. Let's get it. Pull your mask down. Now you're running up on your own people. Can you say that happens to everybody on the earth?
Yeah. No, not on earth. Not everybody on earth, but it's happening.
To who? What people specifically?
Us.
Us. And there's another term for it. They call it black on black crime. Or Hispanic on Hispanic crime. Bloods and the Crips.
Same color.
Yeah, that's right. Same color, beefing over a color out of a crayon box. Or over street names 64th and 63rd that we don't even know. Right, and what else?
And towards the wife of his bosom.
Not only is he going to be evil toward his brother, but he's going to be evil toward his wife. Domestic violence. TT and Daddy just, hey, you heard about TT and Daddy that just got in a fight, man? I heard when he walked in the door and she threw hot grits on him because she found in his phone that he was cheating. He was cheating on her, and her and her best friend, they bashed the windows of his car and slashed his tires. And that's us. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
That ain't happening to Billy and Elizabeth down the street. You know, or what's some white people names? Susan and Billy and Karen. Yeah, that's not happening to them. But the Israelites, God's chosen people, what else gonna happen to these people?
And towards the remnant of his children.
So not only is he gonna be evil toward his wife and his brother, but he's gonna be evil toward his children. Now, what do you think is gonna happen to these children?
Be the same chain reaction. Same thing's gonna happen. I feel.
Yeah, that's true. But let's see.
Which he shall leave.
Now he's gonna stay and raise his children.
Which he shall
He's
leave.
gonna be a good father.
Which he shall leave.
He's gonna leave his children. What race of people is predominantly known for having single parent households.
I guess I don't have to answer that.
Yeah, you know,
Self-explanatory.
self-explanatory, a rhetorical question. You know, mind you, God is saying that this is going to happen to them for being disobedient, not keeping His commandments.
Right.
What people do you know walks around with all manner of lawlessness? They don't give a damn about what's going on in society. Make their own rules, basically. That's us. We live
Look, I mean, it's like right on the head.
right on the head, and this is the Holy Bible we're reading on this one. Did you write this, brother?
No, I didn't.
Did you write this? What's in this word? No, none of us wrote this. This Bible has been in our community for over 100 years, thousands, if you might really want to say, generations. But why has nobody revealed this information to you?
Well, I'm not trying to preach. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think people want to read what they want to, they see what they want to see, pretty much.
Well,
If it's convenient, they see it.
we don't disagree with that. We stand wholeheartedly behind it. So that's why the Lord had to raise up certain men with the spirit and understanding of the scriptures to teach the truth, no matter whether people like it, believe it, understand it or not. Those men are the prophets of the Lord, or the elect men that have to understand. Right? Get Isaiah 30 and 20 just to prove that. Y'all the Israelites, you gotta repent, keep the commandments, all right? Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20.
Book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of
So
affliction,
though the Lord puts you through all these terrible acts, what else is He gonna do?
yet shall not thy teacher be removed into a corner anymore.
So He's gonna have a mercy on you in the last days to give you a teacher, to teach you the truth of the Bible. You've had men for generations teaching the Bible, but they haven't been telling you your nationality. Like T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, Juanita Bynum, and all of these people that are self-renowned pastors and preachers that went to biblical college that was actually put in the system by the white man to deceive fusion. Go ahead.
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee.
You want to hear the scriptures be broken down in its proper manner and say, hold on, that's kind of hitting on the head now. That sounds like me and my people, what we go through on a day-by-day basis. Go ahead.
Saying, this is the way.
Man, hold on. We the Israelites now. These Bibles line up with my history. Not the white man, not the Chinese man, but the black man, so-called African American. Go ahead.
Walk ye in it.
Saying, hold on, I might have to start doing what the Lord told me to do. Because mind you, with them not doing what the Lord told them, those things happened to them. They were sitting in cotton fields, they were sitting on slave ships. All these things actually happened. Go ahead.
When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the
So
left.
every which way you go, you got to do what the Lord told you, which is what? Keep the commandments. We're going to get another one to support that.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you passion according to my heart,
All right?
which shall feed you knowledge and understanding.
The knowledge and understanding of the Holy Scriptures that you are an Israelite. And the Lord is your God. This Bible is not just some novel that you can pick up in the library and read it like Captain Underpants. No, this book is a book of prophecy and history that pertains to you and your people.
That's right.
So with that being said, no other nation of people on the earth has any business with this book in their hands. 'Cause would you let somebody in your house just come in and start flipping through your family photos? You wouldn't do that. You probably have your family photos somewhere in the closet or something, in your family records. That's what this Bible is about. It's about your landmass, your culture, the things you used to do, your traditions, and your heritage, your name. And when your enemy got a hold of it, he told you couldn't even read it no more. And if you were found reading it, he would put you to death. Which is why they're banning certain Bibles in these last days. You go to California, and it's called hate speech. Well, it's called hate speech all across America, really. But in California, you know, They banning people from reading the Bible. Because the men are on the streets teaching the Bible the truth, telling the white man that he's the devil. Devil just means deceiver, a
That's
thief,
right.
a killer, a murderer. And he's been that from the beginning. Rape, robbery, and murdering all nations. Chiefly the Israelites.
Right.
All these people that you see on that sign. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Your enemy. We're going to get one more curse. You Deuteronomy 28 and 68. To hit it even more on the head.
Book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Right?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
You know the story of Moses? So much. So what do you know about the story of Moses? Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, line me up.
So Moses was set up to be a salvation mechanism for the children of Israel. You ever heard of Pharaoh, let my people go?
Yeah.
That was Moses said that. He said, let my people go. He didn't say let everybody go.
Right.
He said, hey, let my people go, man. That's what you're going to do when your people are being unfairly treated. You're going to say, oh no, somebody got to stand up. You know, somebody got to make what's right out here. You know? He said, hey, let my people go, because they were enslaved or servitude to Pharaoh and his people and his nation, which is why the pyramids were built. Your people, the Israelites, built the pyramids. You know? So this is what we're reading about. This is after that already happened and he parted the Red Sea. He's reading the curses to Israel, a part of that covenant. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So when you hear the word Egypt in the Bible, Egypt is a code word meaning bondage or slavery. Right? Were your people ever enslaved? Were we enslaved? How did we get to that enslavement or that landmass? What way of transportation did we take? Oh, correct. So the Lord said, I'm going to bring the Israelites, because of their disobedience, into slavery, another form of slavery. But this time, you're going to go on slave ships. That happened in history, right? Keep reading on that. Before you continue, Slaki, what's the name of the people that we're reading about?
Israelites?
The Israelites. God's chosen people. Remember that. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
So
again.
he said, I'm going to send my people, the Israelites, into slavery again. How are they going to get there?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
They're going to go into slavery on slave ships. You just said that happened to you and your people. Right. So who would that make you? Who would that make you, according to the Bible? If that happened to you and your
It's
people?
crazy.
It ain't crazy. It's true.
It's history and it's real.
It's amazing.
Right?
Our history has been in the Bible for over 100 years.
Hey, it's a well worth stop, I tell you that.
Man, you know, it's a morning. It's a morning.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee,
Same way Moses told them it was going to happen 4,000 years ago is the same way it happened in 1619.
thou shalt see it no more again.
You'll never see your homeland again. Because you'll be stuck in slavery to this very day. All right, go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold.
When you get off of those slave ships, you shall be sold. Who are we sold to? The white man. Well, let's see what the Lord called it.
Unto your enemies.
To your best friends.
Unto your enemies.
To your wives and husbands.
Unto your enemies.
So the Lord said we will be sold unto our enemies. We as a people, we have forgotten it. We thinking, oh, we all bleed the same blood, we're all equal. No, that's not the case. The Lord made 18 nations on the earth. But he chose one people to be above all nations. So clearly we're not equal. In the Bible, it tells us that. So contrary to popular belief and popular understanding, the Lord chose the Israelites. He told them that they would be sold to their enemies. For what?
For bondmen
Slave nigger man,
and bondwomen.
slave nigger. They had our women in slavery, our grandmothers, our daughters, picking cotton in 100-degree weather. All right, go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
No man is going to redeem you from these conditions, but the Lord, who the world ignorantly called Jesus the Christ. So until he returns, we're going to be subject to slavery. But we can lessen the conditions by doing what? What did the Lord say was going to happen to us if we obey His commandments?
I know what you said though. It's either that or as soon as
What's the opposite of a curse?
right. I can't. I know what you said. I just can't think of it.
The Lord said He was going to bless us.
Bless it. Right.
He was going to bless us if we kept His commandments. So to lessen these conditions on our people, we got to be obedient to the Lord and start keeping the commandments. You know any commandments?
Yeah, well, if I had to sit down and write them, I probably could write them, but understood them and stuff.
And now, you know, a majority of people don't really know the commandments. So we're going to help you out, brother. We're going to give you 4 good commandments that the Lord told us to keep. Right? Get Exodus chapter 20. Start at verse 8.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8.
All right.
Remember the Sabbath day.
You know what the Sabbath day is? The Sabbath day is when we're supposed to rest and give the Lord all our heart. Now, Mom, it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
We're going to find out.
And remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So keep it separate from all the other days. That's what the word holy means. Go ahead.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work.
So the Lord gave us 6 days to labor, meaning to work and do everything, all of our pleasures under the sun. For what?
But the Sabbath day
On the 7th day, for what?
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Uh-huh.
In it
And that 7th day,
thou shalt not do any work.
y'all got 2 minutes, come hear the word of the Lord. You're not supposed to work on the 7th day. You're supposed to what? To rest on the 7th day, right? Go ahead.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within thy gate.
All right, go ahead.
For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
Uh-huh.
the sea, and all that in them is, and rest the 7th day.
So the Lord made it a decree for His chosen people to rest on the 7th day. Because He understood that He already foresaw the conditions that we would be living in. Working 12 to 13 hours a day, 5 days out of the week, 6 days out of the week. Some of us work 7 days out of the week. No rest. The Lord saw it fit and beneficial for us to have a rest day, which is why a lot of our people are off on Saturday. But what day? Saturday. Like, that's the day that some of us are off work.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
And that's the only reason why, because the enemy knows that you're the chosen people. So he's going to give you your check on Friday afternoon where you can sell and buy on a Saturday. Which really is against the commandments. The Lord told us to rest and that we can't buy or sell on the Saturday. Nor can we cook on the Saturday either.
If I had the rest of the evening to sit here, I would stay here. I really would. I'll probably learn. I'll probably learn in these last 20 minutes. No. In this last 20 minutes, I learned in history class the whole time I was in school. To be honest with you.
All glory and praise to the Heavenly Father. The Lord directed your steps today, brother.
Because this wasn't a planned trip. This
Hey,
ain't wasn't.
you know, and to prove that, I'm gonna pull a Bible verse. Get Proverbs 20 and 24 real quick. The last one. We're gonna give you our information. The truth. You stay in Fayetteville? I do. Right. So we're out here every Friday and every Saturday. Fridays around 7:30 p.m. until the Lord removes us from the street. 20 and 24. And then Saturdays from 3:30 until. Right. But this is why you say this wasn't planned. This is why that's the case. Right. That's our information to us. Okay.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24.
Read out.
Man's going are of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
How can a man then understand his own way?
So what that means is you didn't wake yourself up to plan out your day. The Lord planned your day out already. Even though you may have sat down and actually planned your day out, it was the Lord that put those thoughts in your mind. So I'm gonna come outside, I'm gonna walk my dog, Right. But chiefly, the Lord directed your steps across the men of the Lord for you to learn your nationality. Because the Lord may have saw fit for you to get the kingdom of heaven. Because not everybody is going to get this opportunity to actually understand their nationality according to the Bible. Everybody's going to hear it. Like the Lord prophesied that all the world shall hear this gospel, and then shall they come. But not everybody's going to have the blessing and the spirit to resonate with them to understand that they are God's chosen people. A lot of people come and stop before us and they reject it and they keep walking. Like you've seen before, they keep walking. We acknowledge our people and they say, I'm good.
I mean, to be honest, like I said, I had somewhere to be, but like this, you have no idea how, well, I ain't gonna say plain, but how out of the ordinary this was. My plan was to walk that way, around, and then go back in there. Then it changed from that way to crossing from here to that side. It's like weird how it just.
Boy, I read it to the couch, brother.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely did, because it's my first time down here in probably a couple of years.
Just so happened, you came across the way of the Lord to learn your nationality. So according to the Bible, what's your true nationality, brother?
African.
African?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the Lord?
No. It's right. I don't say it enough, so I can't say it. It's Israelite.
Israelite.
That's right.
Israelite. Say it one more time, brother.
Israelite.
Israelite. Say it one more time. Israelite. Right? Repeat. That is your true nationality. According to your respective tribe, right?
Matter of fact, next time I come back down, I'll make sure I stop. I'll recite to you what you recite to me.
Lord willing.
Sure.
All praise. Yeah. And also on top of that, you have to keep the commandments and have faith as well. Right. Keeping the commandments and having faith, that's how you get the kingdom of heaven. According to Matthew chapter 19 and verse 16 and Revelation 14 and Revelation chapter 21 on that. That's how you obtain salvation. That's how you reverse the curses and the conditions that we live in, by being obedient to the Most High God. But you got our information.
I do.
On that,
right here.
on that card is our YouTube, Fishermen for Zion with the E, Zion with the I, and our Instagram as well. YouTube and our Instagram. If you got a second, you can put it in, that way you won't forget. A lot of people ain't do that. You don't forget.
I ain't forget, but I'm gonna put it in.
And as you do that, we're going to read a few more scriptures until we got your attention. Get 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 8. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 8.
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2,
Start at verse 8.
verse 8. He raises up the poor out of the dust and lift up the beggar from the dunghill.
So right now, brother, you have been raised up out of the dust. The Lord took you from the lowest of the lowest and put you on high by doing what? By giving you your nationality back. Because as the Israelites, we are the epitome of human beings on earth. Or we are the chief example. The example. Let's elaborate. Go ahead.
To set them among princes.
So he's taking these people that are of a lower state and he's setting them amongst princes. Some of the mightiest men on the earth. Right? Read.
And to make them inherit the throne of glory.
To make them inherit eternal life. By giving you your nationality back. Understanding that you are God's chosen people on the earth. The Lord chose you and your nation of people. That's what's happening right now. To make you inherit the throne of glory, right?
For the pillars of the earth of the Lord.
So he deems whoever worthy to obtain this information, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with these last days.
And he has set the world upon them.
So he set the world upon the pillars. Right? The world, chiefly talking about the children of Israel. And those pillars, on a deep level, are the men of the Lord that have the understanding to uphold and keep the nation rooted and grounded. Like he said in Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. But you got our information. What's your nationality, brother?
Israelite.
That's
Israelite.
right.
That's right, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
All praise, brother. Peace and blessings. You too. You got a question?
I was curious what denomination you guys are.
Well, give me St. John chapter 1 and verse 47. We're going to show you.
What is it?
I'm having the brothers read. St. John chapter 1 and verse 47.
Book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 47.
Romans 11 and 22. Read it. Yeah, read that.
Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and saying of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed.
What?
An Israelite indeed.
What's our denomination?
An
Israelite indeed.
We are the Israelites according to the Holy Bible. There's no denomination found within the scriptures. You find nationalities of people. And our nationality, according to the Holy Bible, is the Israelites. God's chosen people. That was kept from us from by our enemies. They gave us denomination. So we, as men of the Lord, it was our duty, and the Lord said it's the honor of a king to search out a matter. So with us having the spirit of the king within us, we searched out the matter and found out our true nationality. So we were the lost tribe of Israel. Once lost now found in the last days. That's what we are. The Israelites. Read that. Romans 11 22.
Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 22.
Right?
Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Romans 11.
First Corinthians 11. First Corinthians 11. Second.
Bang it out, bang it out.
I'm also yeah, Second Corinthians. A lot. Second Corinthians 11. A lot.
Book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, and verse 22.
Right.
Are they Hebrew?
Right.
So am
Are
I.
these brothers Hebrews? So am I. Right, read.
Are they Israelites?
Are they Israelites?
So am I.
So am I. We are the Israelites, God's chosen people, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Y'all got 2 minutes to commit the word of the Lord, family. Right? You got to repent, keep it coming. Y'all got 2 minutes?
The word of the Lord already.
Know the word of the Lord. What's your nationality according to the Bible, sister? You can't tell me because you don't know the word of the Lord, man.
Well, God bless you guys and you have a good day.
Are they the seed of
You
Abraham?
want to find out your nationality? According to the Bible?
Doesn't matter where we came from as long as we serve Him, right?
Well,
Telling me you don't believe in the Most High God.
yeah, you kind of don't believe in the Most High God, you know. And he was correct. He said he gotta, we gotta serve him because that's what we all put on the earth to do, is to serve the Lord. So, I can't knock him for that. Can't knock him. That was probably the most craftiest answer I've ever heard from anybody. No matter where we're from, we're supposed to serve him anyway. Correct. Because in Romans chapter 15 and verse 8. I believe this one. It's either 15 or 14. I want to say 14.
Bring it out, bring it out. This book is so red. Chapter 24, starting at verse 19. Come unto me, all ye that be desirous of me, and fill yourselves with my fruits.
The Lord said, fill yourselves with his fruit. What's the fruit? The fruits of the Spirit. Also, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Holy Scripture. Right, go ahead.
For my memorial is sweeter than honey, and my inheritance than the honeycomb.
Right.
That they that eat me shall yet be hungry, and they that drink me shall yet be thirsty.
Book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 11.
Well, that Edomite was correct. He was correct in a way. Go ahead and read that. We're going to prove it.
Book of Romans, chapter 14, verse 11. For it is written,
Right?
as I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow to me.
So when the Lord Yahweh shall correct the sky in these last days, right, at the peak of World War III, hey, every knee is going to bow, man. Whether you like it, believe, or understand or not. If you don't, hey, you know what's coming to you, right? Get Isaiah chapter 60. Go ahead, King.
And every tongue shall confess to Yahweh.
Every tongue is going to confess to Yahweh by Shah, man. They're going to give an account there too according to their actions, man.
Book of Isaiah 60, verse 12.
Read out.
For the nation and kingdom that would not serve thee shall perish.
Right?
Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
They're going to be utterly wasted. And that goes for every flesh on this earth, man. If you don't bow down to Yahweh Shah, hey, I'm led to believe the Lord going to cut your neck off, man. He going to have one of the elect men, he might have Michael, the chief angel, to come thrust you through with his sword, man. Split you in half. You know, one half over here, the other half on that side. You know, and that's what all the men of the Lord have done since the foundations of the earth, man. King David, Moses was slaying people, man. Not a lot of brothers talk about that. Moses raised up the sword against Israelites, man, that didn't want to get down with the Most High God. Moses raised up the sword and thrust men through. And there were some Levites with him too, man. You know, and that spirit is embedded inside of us. And that's why the Lord said, who will rise up for me, man? But we're not, you know, the Lord said if my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight. You know, so we don't fight, we don't have carnal activities, man. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, as it says in the book of Ephesians, right? But against spiritual powers in high places. What you hold it, King?
Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 17.
Right?
And it shall be that who will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
So the Lord said, hey, if you don't come up to serve the Lord, ain't no rain is going to fall upon you. And chiefly that's spiritual, talking about the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right?
Right.
You know, because we know that water in the scriptures is referred to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the Bible, man. You know, so everything is spiritual, man. Right? Everything is spiritual. You're not going to receive aid. And the prophets, it says this land is dry and thirsty. King David said that, man. You know, in a dry and thirsty land. Get Luke 19 and 27. Real quick. Luke 19 and 27.
Book of Luke, chapter 19, and verse 27.
And this land is destitute, man. It's dry and thirsty, man. You got the men of the Lord out here and people just walking past like we some regular Negroes, man. You know, not even knowing that, you know, salvation is at the door. You know, so like, hey, how you doing, sister? You got 2 minutes for a Bible verse? 2 minutes. Right? You're not gonna stop, you gotta repent, keep the commandments.
Right.
You know, and have faith in your house. All right, go ahead, bring that, King.
Book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies.
Not everybody is the Lord's friend, man. Everybody think they on. Everybody on the world, in the earth, thinks that they are God's friend. You know, the Lord's speaking right here in this red letter. The Lord said, those mine enemies, man.
Which were not that I should ring.
How y'all doing, family? Y'all got 2 minutes here for a Bible verse? 2 minutes? All right, according to the Bible, y'all are God's chosen people, the Israelites. You got to repent and keep the commandments.
Right.
Before the Lord destroy this place. We don't make it. All right, so everybody think that they in good graces just because they know a few Bible verses, man. You know, somebody got to get that saying that the Lord prophesied, depart from me, ye evildoers. I never knew you. The Lord got to say that to somebody, man. You know, so who is that going to be? If everybody is the Lord's friend. You know, if everybody, you know, if the Lord died on the cross for everybody, that has to come to pass, man. You know? So the Lord said, those mine enemies, Hey, how you doing, sister? You got 2 minutes for a Bible verse? You don't? Well, you gotta repent and keep the commandments in these last days.
Right.
Right? Lord willing. So go ahead, King.
Look at Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them.
Come hear the word of the Lord. Come hear the word of the Lord. 2 minutes for a Bible verse. 2 minutes. Right? The Lord said those that would not that I should reign over them. That meaning, if you don't want to get down with the order of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, what's going to happen to you?
Bring hither and slay them before
The
me.
Lord said, bring them hither and slay them before me, man. Hey, so Exodus 15:3, and that's in full effect, man. The Lord is a man of war, you know. And I can only imagine what Yahweh looked like, you know, in his mighty warrior apparel, you know, out there on the, you know, in the battlefield, man. I can only imagine what Yahweh looked like, man. You know, might be something I don't want to see, you know. I'd probably rather be behind Yahweh, you know, than in front of him. You know, if you're in front of Yahweh, more than likely it ain't gonna be good. You know, but go ahead.
And when he had thus spoken, he sent before ascending up to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, when he was come nigh to Bethphage and Bethany at the mount called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, Go ye into the village over against you, in the which at your entering ye shall find a coat tied, whereon yet never man sat loose. Where never man sat. Loose him and bring him hither.
So, hey, the Lord is a man of war, man.
Right.
And in these last days, hey, you're gonna start seeing men with fringes on, hey, turn into men of war. On a spiritual level, hey, we're men of war right now, man. We're coming out here, breaking down the strongholds, cutting up demons, putting our shield of faith up, you know, and protecting the men and women of the Lord, and also, you know, slaying these heathen, man. Right. You know, slaying these spiritual demons that come up against the word of the Lord, defending the gospel. You know, that's a battle right there, man. You got offense and you got defense. You know, we're pulling precepts, we're offending the gospel. We're being on offense by giving knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to our people. You know, and then when we come with the defense, people come up and scoff the word of the Lord, say, hey, Yahweh was born of an angel, you know, or they say the salvation is for everybody. Hey, we kind of got to defend and bring out that sword, man. You know, kind of, you know, get that sword out, take the sword out of the sheath, you know, and kind of get nasty out here with it, man. You know. So let's go back to Psalm 94 and verse 16. Psalm 94 and verse 16.
Book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16.
All right.
And it reads, Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
And that's happening in these last days. You see men across different countries, different states, standing up for the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. Standing up for righteousness' sake.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? Hey, you got 2 minutes real quick, brother?
I'm gonna put this in the car, be right back.
All right, Lord willing, brother. Lord willing. All right, read that again, and then,
Christian pastor.
Psalms 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity.
Right? So the men of the Lord are out on the behalf of the people are bringing righteousness in the earth, man. Bringing righteousness, telling the people to repent, keep the commandments, and have faith in Yahushua, man. You know, but the people don't want to hearken, man. The people are like, oh, y'all just some niggas. I'm older than y'all, you know, certain of us, you know. And I don't want to hear y'all, because I've been on this earth longer than you. I studied that Bible. I read the Bible all the time. Well, do you understand what you're reading, man? You know, so the Lord had to raise up men to teach, you know, to come and prophesy. Go ahead and read that, King Brother.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read, right? No one of these things shall fail.
So the Lord is not going to fail you when you come to his precepts and you actually apply them, man. Applying the precepts and read them. Right, go ahead.
It says, none shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Huh.
Bring it out.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3, says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
There's a time, the time is at hand when the Lord is requiring of men to bring forth fruit on the earth, man. Right? Hey, sisters, how y'all doing? Y'all got 2 minutes for a Bible verse? Right, according to the Bible, y'all would be Israelites, God's chosen people.
Right.
Repent and keep the commandments in these last days.
Right.
But the Lord is requiring, you know, at the hand of men, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And if you're not bearing forth fruit, and you're going to be hewn down in these last days, man. God, the Lord is going to hew you down, and the Lord said that no more fruit is going to be, basically, that man is not going to be able to expect fruit from you anymore, man. Right? Man is not going to be coming to you and trying to check to see what's going on. Man is not going to be coming to water you. Man is not going to be coming to, you know, see, you know, get all the pesticides from around you. Hey, you're going to be null and void in these last days, man. All right, go ahead and bring that out, King.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 35, verse 15.
Bring it out.
I have said also unto you, all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods.
So the men of the Lord are out in these last days, man. Telling the people, hey, don't go after these other gods, man. Christianity, Muslim and Buddhism and all that folly and madness, right? But to amend your ways, to bethink yourself, man. You know, keep reading.
And go not after other gods to serve them.
And don't go after these other gods, because that's idolatry, and which is, you know, that's breaking the first commandment, right? You know, serving yourself, looking in your mirror and saying, oh, I look good. Hey, I'm going to look in the mirror and say, hey, all praise to the Most High, man. I'm an Israelite. You know, get Nehemiah 9 and 27, Bible stuff. Keep reading.
And ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your father.
And we're going to dwell safely in that land, man. Not having to worry about our enemies coming up and rising up against us no more. Teaching us lies and hypocrisy, giving us all false doctrines and philosophy, which ultimately causes destruction within our nation, man. You know, that's it on that.
But ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me.
Now the Lord got to send you a strong delusion, raising up these false prophets in these last days, man. Right, go ahead, bring that King.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9 and verse 27. It says, therefore thou hast delivered them into the hand of their enemies.
Hey, how y'all sisters doing today? All praises. We're doing well. Y'all got 2 minutes for a Bible verse? 2 minutes. All right, according to the Bible, y'all will be Israelites. You gotta repent and keep the commandments before the Lord come back and destroy the earth.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, and verse 27. Therefore thou deliverest them into the hand of their enemies who vexed them, and in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou hearkenest them from heaven. Thou heardest them from heaven, and according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors who saved them out of the hand of their enemies.
So the Lord had mercy on us, man, to send out the prophets in these last days. The apostles and the teachers, the evangelists, the proselytes, the spiritual physicians. And he heard our cries, sweet Lord, and all the spiritual hymns that we sung in ignorance, man.
That's right.
And he was like, I'm gonna have a little bit of mercy on y'all because I love y'all. Just like any good father would. He kind of see his son kind of down in the spirit, feeling all bad. He said, you want to go get some ice cream? Hey, that's what the Lord doing to us right now, man. Giving us these pastors and these saviors, man. Hey, what's going on, brother? You got 2 minutes real quick?
Go ahead.
You believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
You do? All right, according to the Bible, what is your nationality?
Like Christianity and stuff like that.
Not your religion, but your nationality.
What nation?
What nation do you come from? There you go, okay, here. You don't know? Can we show you? All right. Give me Jeremiah. Why is it that you don't know your nationality? Jeremiah 17:4.
I'm not that deep into it.
Understood. That and you were never taught your nationality. How old are you? 19. Senior? You graduated. Why is it that you went to school for 12 years and they never taught you your true nationality? They told you you were African American, but those terms can be found in the Bible. Can they? You can find that African American in the Bible?
African American?
You can. Why is that the case? Because that's not a real nationality. That's a nationality that you were taught in slavery. They taught you was an African American. They taught you were a Negro, nigga, and all those other terms. Why did they change our names every 100 some years? There's something they don't want you to know about yourself. Why did they take these books out of the schools? There's something they don't want to know.
But they don't want us to know.
Exactly.
Right.
They were killing you when you started reading the Bible. Well, we're going to show you why.
So isn't that the first book that they gave us?
Well, that's true, but really it was already our book. And we're going to show you that. We're going to show you that this was already our book. Somebody, can you kill somebody with a screwdriver?
Okay.
But what is it? Can you also screw in a light bulb with a screwdriver? Or screw in a screw with a screwdriver? So when you take something and use it for its improper reasoning, it can be used for destruction. When you take this Bible and you teach it to somebody incorrectly, they now call, you get what I'm saying, right? So we're going to teach you the correct way of how to understand what you truly are, according to Bible prophecy. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
All right?
And thou, even thyself,
So you and your people, this is the Lord speaking to Jeremiah and his people,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
you're going to be discontinued. Is it the fact that we were discontinued from our heritage? It was. Right?
That I gave thee.
A lot of us are still on. But we call ourselves African Americans.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
You'll be caused to serve your enemies. Is it the fact that we were caused to serve our enemies?
Yeah, we going, bro.
Where at? Yeah. America. All right, go ahead.
In the land which thou knowest not.
And the landmass that we didn't know about. Did our forefathers know about this land before they came over here? No. So would that be kind of correlation to your history? Right? So we're going to find out the name of these people. Did you know that God had a chosen people?
Have chosen people? No, I didn't.
Let's read it. Give me 44:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 1.
All right?
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel,
That's the proper name of God's chosen.
whom I have chosen.
So the Lord chose the Israelites to be his special people, right, on the earth. We're going to get another witness. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6.
Go in book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7.
Verse 6.
Okay, good.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Holy means set apart. So the Lord set apart the Israelites from all the other nations that he created, right? Go ahead.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee
He chose the Israelites to be what?
to be a special people unto himself,
Uh-huh.
above all people,
Everybody's the same.
above all people
Right?
that are upon
Above
the face
all
of the
people,
earth.
Exactly.
So according to the Bible, the Israelites are above all nations on the earth. They dominate in everything that they do. Even though they may be in the worst conditions, they dominate in everything that are upon the face of the earth. Who does that sound like? The most dominant people on the earth. No matter what they touch, no matter what they touch or what they do, somebody will say, dang, he nice. He good. Case in point, your shirt.
Look at your shirt.
Who the best hoopers right now? What,
Hoopers right now?
yeah, nationality of people. LeBron, Jordan, Pimpin. Who's the best R&B singer? Dancers. What nationality of people dominate in the music industry? Dominantly black. What nationality of people dominate in the track and field area? Soccer. Hispanics. Well, and also, the black man too. All of that. Why is that the case? What people on the earth, you might not notice, what people on the earth have the most inventions? Black. They invented the stoplight. They invented the light bulb, the filter that goes inside the light bulb. You ever look inside the light bulb? That little thing? The black man created that. The automobile, the airplane, the so-called black man. Right? But why is that the case? The Lord said that the Israelites are above all nations on the earth. So we're gonna prove if we are the Israelites or not. And how we're gonna do that? We're gonna read some of the things that happened to the Israelites. And when we read these things, you let me know if this happened in your history or somebody else. If it does fit you, you are the Israelites. Your people are God's chosen on the earth. Right? What we're about to do is read some curses that God put on his people for their disobedience. Like, give me Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28,
Start at verse 15.
verse 15. And it reads, but it shall come to pass,
This is going to happen in the future.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Hearken means to hear. Right? Go ahead.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
What's going to happen?
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So we're going to read some of the curses because there's a people on earth that claim to be the chosen people. They call themselves Jews. Right? So if they are the chosen people, they will fit the curses or the things that the Lord said was going to happen to the Israelites, who are the true Jews. Right? Read verse 16.
Reading verse 16. And it says, cursed shalt thou be in the city,
Right?
and cursed shalt thou be in the
So
field.
the living conditions in any city that you go to, they're going to be at the bottom of society. The last higher and the first five. Right? They're going to be living in Section 8 housing homes in the projects. And also he said they're going to be cursed in the field. What nation of people are ever cursed in the fields? Our people. It's well documented throughout history. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. It happened to us. And also the so-called Hispanic and Native American people as well. Right? Those are God's chosen people. That didn't happen to nobody else on earth. But one nation, the Israelites. Right? We're gonna get two more. Get 54 and get verse 68.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you
Even the nicest brother, how you doing today, brother? You good? Straight? All praise.
and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now, I'm not delicate to you no more. I'm not showing no brotherly love. But now I'm evil towards you. Meaning, I see you up and down the street. I like that chain you got on. I'm going to run down on you. That's what the Lord said is going to happen to his chosen people. But at one point in time, they were cordial. Hey, your family good, your wife and your kids good. If y'all not, hey, let me know. And I might make something happen for you. Right, keep reading.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Not only is he evil toward his brother, but he's evil toward his wife as well, which is what? Domestic violence in the households. The Tyler Perry movies they be having, they be throwing hot grits on people. That don't happen to nobody else but us. Right, read?
And toward the remnant of his
So
children,
not only is he going to be evil toward his wife and his brother, but he's also going to be evil toward his children. Which what?
which he shall lead.
Now he's going to stay and raise his household.
Which he shall lead.
What people do you know are dominant and having single-parent households? Predominantly black, and the so-called Hispanic Native Americans too. But predominantly, it's talking about the so-called black man. That don't happen to nobody else. That don't happen to the white man, the Chinese man, the real African that put bones and lip biscuit in his nose. That don't happen to these people, right? That's it on that. Get verse 68. So far, who are these curses predominantly fitting? So-called black people. And the Lord is talking to who? What nation? What is their name that he gave them? The Israelites, right? This is the last verse, the last curse that we're going to give.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Mind you, these things are happening to them because of their disobedience, right?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Familiar with the story of Moses? You familiar with the story of Moses? What Moses is famous for parting the Red Sea. He said, Pharaoh, let my people go. That's what Moses is famous for. This is after that. He said, the Lord is going to bring you into Egypt again. Moses freed them from Egypt because they were slaves. So Egypt in the Bible, when you read it, means bondage or slavery. Did your people ever go into slavery? Right? You familiar with that market house down there in the middle? That's where they sold black people. So-called black people. But in the Bible, we're finding out their true nationality is the Israelites. Right, go ahead. How did we get to America? What way of transportation? It's by boat. Just, who was the Lord speaking to again? The Israelites. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
The Lord said he's going to send the Israelites into slavery by way of slave ships. That didn't happen to no other people on the face of the earth. But God's chosen people, the Israelites, because of their disobedience. So we wonder, why are we over here? You know, what do we do to go through those conditions? The Lord is telling you. It's been in the Bible for over 100 years, but nobody actually, truly found out to the last days. And the Lord said the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world. Then shall the end come. This is what he's talking about. This is the true gospel. His people are understanding their true nationality, according to the Bible. Right, go ahead.
Very interesting.
The ships.
With ships again. By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The same way Moses told him it was going to happen is the same way that it happened. Right?
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You'll never see your homeland again. Because you'll be stuck in America or wherever you were sent to on slave ships. Go ahead.
And there.
Once you get off of those slave ships, what happened when we got off those slave ships? You know? Well, we were sold. Right?
And there ye shall be sold.
Who are we sold to? White man. What did the Lord call it?
Ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
Now your best friend.
Your enemy.
So the Lord said we'll be sold unto our enemies. Right, go ahead.
For bondmen
Slave man
and bondwomen.
slave woman. They had our women as slaves. The little daughters, you got a little sister? Think about your little sister getting her back beaten for not picking enough cotton. How would that make you feel?
Angry. I'll be angry.
That's what happened to your people though. Right, go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
No man is going to redeem you or free you from this captivity until you understand that you're an Israelite and that the Lord requires certain things of you, like keeping his commandments. There's a reason why we're the best athletes, the best singers. We didn't just bump our head on the bed in the morning and say, oh, I'm going to just be the best singer, the best dancer. That didn't just happen out of nowhere. The Lord chose us because his mercy was upon us. And he said, I'm going to make these people the example on the earth on how to be righteous. And when we forgot that and disobeyed the commandments, that's when all of these things happen. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans were put into slavery by way of slave ships. So according to the Bible, what's your true nationality? And this is
That's right.
So that term African American, you can no more associate yourself with that. Because that's the name of your oppressors. Leo Scipios Africanus and Americo Vespucci. Those are real men that actually existed in history. But you calling yourselves that, not only you, but these people that you see on the sign will be destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So your heritage is an Israelite. Your customs are the commandments. Those are the things, that's your you know, they got traditions in America where you keep Christmas and Thanksgiving. Well, in the Bible, the Lord gave us holy days, like the Passover, the Feast of Dedication, the New Moon, things of that nature. Those are the things that we are supposed to be doing. Because before we got on the slave ships, we wanted to celebrate Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. All of those things were created in America to be a distraction to us. Because we make up the most funds in America right now. All these people that you see on the sign, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, we make up over $1.4 billion of the income that they make. If we were to leave from this continent, which they're not going to let this happen, and also the Lord, but if we were to leave and make up our own nation, we would be the richest nation on earth. But we can't do that because one, the curse is on us. Remember the Lord said we won't have an evil eye toward our own brother. We can't do business with one another because of that curse. I can't walk up and say, hey brother, you got a business? Yeah, you know, let's do some business together. But we can't do that now because we don't know our nationality. When you know who you are, you start to love your people. You know, so on and so forth. So as an Israelite, the Lord requires that we keep the commandments. And that's also how you get to the kingdom of heaven as well. We're going to read this last one. Matthew 19 and 16. This is the last one. And then,
Matthew chapter.
You from Fayetteville?
No, I'm from Georgia.
You from Georgia? We're going to give you our YouTube and our Instagram so you can tune in and further, you know, increase in knowledge, wisdom, and stuff. Go ahead.
Matthew 19 and verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him.
So a young man came to Christ. You know what Christ looked like?
Most people say he look black.
Most people say that. But in the Bible, I'm just bringing it to you, he is black. Chiefly, he's from the tribe of Judah.
Feet like brass, hair like wool.
That's right. In the Bible, that's his description. She hit it on the head. His hair is like wool, and it's white. And his hands and his feet were like brass. Brass is a derivative of brown. And it also says it as if it was burned in a furnace. You take that brass and you
And
burn
your
it,
hair is like wool.
and it's going to be black. So he was black. Well, go ahead, read that.
Matthew chapter 19 verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good things shall I do that I may have eternal life?
So a young man came to Christ and asked him, and I just asked you, how do we get eternal life? And what did Christ say?
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me
He
good?
said, hold on, now why are you calling me good?
There is none good but
He
one,
said, there's only one man that's good, and that's my Father, the man that sits on the throne, creator of the heavens and earth. Right, go ahead.
that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life,
If you want eternal life, what you got to do?
keep the commandments.
Not just believe.
Keep the commandments.
You got to keep the commandments, and you got to believe as well in Yahweh Shai, which is his real name. Right? His name is not Jesus because the letter J was invented in the 16th century, and Christ was on the earth well before that. Right? So we as a people have to bethink ourselves and understand that this Bible is our history book, and that we are the chosen people.
That's right.
We can't be ashamed to call ourselves the chosen people. We got to walk with pride because for so long, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans have been put down in the society, any society that we live in. The bottom of the slums. In any captivity.
That's true.
Right? You go to the borders right now, they got the Hispanics, the Mexicans, in cages right now. Children.
And it's worse here. It's worse than Fayetteville.
Wrapped in foil.
It's bad.
Why is that? Because we not keeping the commandments. Why is the black man being shot down with no justice? No
There's
peace.
been people shot all week here.
Because we not keeping the commandments. In Georgia, how are the living conditions for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans? It's bad. Yeah, because we not keeping the commandments. The Lord said these things are going to happen to us for disobeying the commandments. Christ told us how to get the kingdom of heaven. Keep the commandments. So it's in our best interest as a nation of people to come out and teach this Bible. That's why we're out there.
That's right.
It's a Saturday night. You know, brothers could be doing anything. You know, this brother got a wife and kids. You know, I'm 21 years old. You know how many things the average 21-year-old is not going to be standing outside teaching the Bible. You're not going to be doing it. You know that. Well, you know, you could be out partying. You know how many parties there are happening right now in Fayetteville just alone? And I know it'd be some crazy stuff in Georgia, you know, Atlanta. Hey man, I've been to Atlanta teaching the Bible. I done seen what be going on out there. It'd be crazy. You know, all types of stuff, you know, madness. But instead, the Lord put the Spirit on us to come out and teach the Bible. Right? I said we get one more, but this is the very last one. Revelation, get 14.
I'm at it. Okay.
14 and
Book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 12.
Yeah, come.
Oh, y'all are on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
YouTube.
All right, come on, brother. You said he was gonna stop, brother. Yeah.
Book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 12.
All right.
And it reads, here is the patience of the saints.
Right.
Here are they that keep the commandments of God.
Right. The true saints are the Israelites, according to Psalm 50 and verse 5 and Psalm 148 and verse 14. Those are the Israelites. You'll read that. Right. But go ahead.
Keep the commandments of God and the faith of who we call Jesus.
And
the
the
world
others
calls
are
you.
grafted in.
Well,
What of us to grab?
get Revelation chapter 21 and verse 12.
21:12.
When
Here we
you
go.
become a Christian,
That's
you're
where I was
grafted
going.
in.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 12.
Oh, Salaki, before you read that.
Okay.
Hold on, Salaki. Hey, brother, do you know any commandments to get into the kingdom of heaven? Don't. Can we give you 3 real fast? Let's give the brother 3 commandments.
The book of Leviticus chapter 11.
What is he trying to
Start
say?
at verse 7.
Just the Israelites are
And
going
it
to heaven.
reads,
Is that what he's trying to
And the
say?
swine, though he divide the hoof,
Swine is?
Because if it is, it's wrong.
Pig. Pig. Swine.
Oh, swine.
Yeah, swine. Go ahead.
and the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So the pig only has one stomach. He doesn't properly digest his food. So the Lord said that he's unclean to the Israelites. Right, go ahead.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Now we can eat pork.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
So we as the Israelites, black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, so-called, are not permitted to eat that because we are holy. And when we eat those things, it defiles our temple. Right? Go ahead.
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
We're not even supposed to touch it. That's how detestable it is. Because the pig was created to clean the earth. Like the brother always say, he's not supposed the trash is not supposed to be given to your trash man every Tuesday and Thursday. But the Lord created mechanisms on the earth to cleanse the earth. Right? He got
So
the
when
swine.
Jesus died, it all changed.
He got the swine for the earth, and he got other animals for the ocean. We're gonna read that.
They are unclean to you.
So they're unclean to you as the Israelite man, that woman, child. Go ahead.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So everything that has fins and scales on it, those you can eat. Like tilapia, trout, bass, flounder, what's the other one? Salmon. Right, go ahead.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters,
So anything that come out of the waters that don't have fins and scales on it, what?
and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So we as the Israelites are not permitted to eat those things. Anything that come out of the waters that don't have fins and scales on the same body, like shrimp, crab, lobsters, oysters, clam, sea moss. You got a lot of options eating sea moss now. You can't eat them because it come out of the water and it don't have fins and scales.
Right, fruits and greens, yep.
You know, that's it on that.
They shall be even an abomination unto you.
It should be disgusting to you.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination.
So you should be so sick at almost eating that stuff you might want to throw up. That's how bad it is to you.
But it was also said after all this, after Jesus went to the cross, you're supposed to pray over your food. That way you won't be poisoned.
Well, a car? Yeah, we got a car. The brother got a car.
You can eat anything now, but you have to pray over it.
Is that what the Bible says?
And bless your
Switch
food.
on there.
We don't live under the old law anymore.
Well, if Matthew 5:17, get first.
We live under the new law now.
We don't address it.
Matthew 5:17.
Let's hear what Christ said first. Let's see what Christ said. What's your nationality? Peru? You be an Israelite, right? People on the map.
Asher.
She's like
Asher.
68%.
Right?
Did you say Inca?
Yeah.
All right, the chosen people. What's going on, brother?
You got
What's your nationality, Elder? Say what?
He said nationality.
No. Nationality. He didn't say religion.
Not your religion. Read that. Go ahead, read that.
sure. Okay. This happens to be the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. That's what you asked for? 5, verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law.
So Christ, this is what color is that reading?
Red.
Who was that speaking?
That's
When it's red,
Christ.
that's
Christ.
This is Christ speaking. He said what?
Think not that I come to destroy the law.
So the law, what we just read in Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7, it says you can't eat swine and any animal in the seas that don't have fins and scales on it. The Lord said he didn't come to destroy them. What else?
Or the prophet.
Anything that the prophet said. Moses was a prophet.
But was that just for the Israelites? Or is that for everybody?
Well, the Israelites were given the commandments.
Not everybody.
They were chosen.
They were the chosen. So they were to be, like the Lord said, Christ said, Yahweh, he said, ye are the light of the world. So with them fulfilling and doing the law, statutes, and commandments, all the other nations will see that and say, okay, we're going to follow this because that's what, these people are wise and understanding people. But we're in error because we eating abominable things. That's why these events happen to us. Because we didn't keep the law.
Well, pork is bad. It causes high blood pressure.
And that's also in the law as well. And that's why these people lead in high blood pressure and gout and diabetes.
Yes,
Because they don't keep the law.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Go ahead, kid.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
They came to fulfill the things that were written in the law and the prophets. Like what? Deuteronomy 18:18, where God said to Moses that there shall come a prophet in the same manner as him that shall speak all of my words. He's going to everything that he tells you, that do. Because he's my son. And I sent him with a word in his mouth. Right? And also, go ahead and read that. Acts chapter 3, verse 18.
The book of Acts, chapter 3, and verse 18.
Acts 3 and 18.
Verse 18, and it reads, but those things
This is how the world
Which-
wants us.
which God before have shewed by the mouth of his prophets, that Christ should suffer, he had fulfilled.
So the prophecies that Christ should suffer, he fulfilled. Like in the book of Psalms, when it said they parted his garments asunder. That's a prophecy. What's going on?
The book of St. John, chapter 5, verse 46.
Right?
For had ye believed Moses,
Moses prophesied of Christ.
ye would have believed me,
You would have believed Christ.
for he wrote of me.
Moses wrote of Christ that he would come in the latter days. Right? Go ahead. Yes, sir. So, go to 1 Timothy chapter. Go ahead.
Like verse 47. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words?
So if you didn't believe Moses, how are you going to believe Christ? Because Moses was a man of the Lord. Right?
Or even a man isn't accepted in his own country. He has to go
prophet.
outside of his country.
A prophet is not acceptable.
That's all right.
Get 1 Timothy chapter 4. This is going to be my last piece of it. 1 Timothy. Go ahead.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 50. Verse 15. The Lord thy God power will raise up unto thee a prophet
Prophet,
from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me.
like unto Moses, that man that is talking about is Yahweh of the tribe of Judah. Go ahead, read.
Unto him ye shall hearken.
He taught the commandments. Did he not? He taught men to keep the feast days. He taught men to keep the Sabbath. Right? He taught men to wear fringes in the book of Matthew chapter 15, if I'm correct. 14. Right, go ahead and read that. 1 Timothy chapter 4, we'll start at verse 3.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 3. For forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meat
From meats. Go ahead.
which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving
So people read that and they get confused. Well, it's going to explain it. Go ahead.
of them which believe and know the truth.
Which believe and know the truth. What is the truth? Get Psalm 119, verse 42, 142.
Going to book of
Psalm
Psalms,
chapter 119, starting at verse 142.
All right, whoever got it, bring it up.
And it reads, Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness,
So the righteousness of the Lord is everlasting. Go ahead.
and thy law is the truth.
And thy what?
And thy law is the truth.
So the Lord said, to them which believe and know the truth is the law. So it's to be, fools are to be received with thanksgiving to them that know the law. That's what Paul was teaching to, men and women that knew the law, but they didn't know their nationality, which is why he had to go teach them that they were the Israelites. And the only ones that could be grafted in are the Israelites because they were the only ones that were within from the beginning.
To be an example, right?
It's the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 1.
Right?
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
Now, I teach them that just don't know anything.
I speak to them that know the law.
So Paul was teaching that he speak to men that know the law.
So
Right.
what are y'all trying to say about all the other people outside the black race, the Spanish race, and all that?
Well, yeah, give me 1 second. Do you know what's required of you as an Israelite? Do you know what's required of you as an Israelite woman? Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and verse 13.
Ecclesiastes,
Ecclesiastes,
okay.
Chapter 12, start at verse 13.
right?
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right?
Fear God
Fear God
and keep his commandments.
and keep his commandments. So those are the two things that the Lord wants from you as an Israelite woman. To fear him and your obedience. Right? Obedience, like the Lord told us not to eat swine. Your fearing him will show him, by keeping that, not eating swine, that will show him that you're obedient to him, keeping his commandments. When you're disobedient, these things are happening to you and your people. And the things that are going on in Peru are, how are your living conditions for these people in Peru?
It's either really good or really bad.
Well, as a whole, how are that in general, right? Because why? Nobody knows what he just read. To fear God and keep his commandments. So you keeping the commandments will be an example to all the other people of Peru. You will be First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 4, I believe. God has set with the apostles' last.
It's chapter 4.
Chapter 4 and verse 9. The water.
Chapter 4, verse 9.
1 Corinthians 4 and 9. The water.
Okay. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 9. For I think that God hath set forth us, the apostles, last,
The men of the Lord are set up last. Why?
as it were appointed to death.
Uh-huh.
For we are made a spectacle
It's an amazing sight in the eyes to see men on the streets teaching the Bible. Very amazing. What?
unto the world,
To the world
and to angels,
and to the angels
and men.
and to men. Right? So it's a spectacle. Why it'll be a spectacle to you as a woman, right? You will be a spectacle to the world. Like this woman is.
But
the way
you know,
dress, the way
Jesus
you
died
carry
for
yourself.
all humanity.
Right, go ahead, step in there.
Yeah, hold this. Okay. All right, so give me Isaiah 14 and 1 real quick. I'm gonna pass it to the
what?
brothers. Chapter 14 verse 1. Nah, if you read. Oh, you want to hold it?
Anybody that calls on him.
What's going on, man? It's for you, brother. It's for the sister. It's for everybody. All right, everybody that's standing out here. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1.
And it reads, For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
So, Jacob is the so-called black, Hispanic, Latino, Native American man. These are the Israelites, whether you like it, agree with it or not. This is by Bible prophecy, archaeology, history and it's according to God. These are God's chosen people by blood. And you wasn't taught this here. So if they didn't teach you this, why would you think they would teach you the truth about Jesus? Why would you think they'll teach you the truth about people being grafted in? They're not going to teach you the truth. So this is what's about to happen in the world after World War III. During the peak of World War III, this is what's about to happen. Read it again.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
God is going to destroy all the wicked nations on the earth. And he's only going to have mercy on Jacob. Jacob are the only people that are prophesied from the book of Genesis to the last book of Revelation to receive salvation. Salvation is being saved from your enemies. You cannot go in the Bible and pull a verse and tell us that the Lord is coming to save anybody outside of the nation of Israel. You can't do it. If you can, pull your Bible verse and do it right now. For the Lord will have mercy unto Jacob, read.
And will yet choose Israel.
Why would he not choose the Israelites after they've been through all this affliction? Don't you know that this is Egypt all over again? Don't you know that the Israelites was in slavery in Egypt before? And that they went in slavery to Egypt again? North America and South America is a place of enslavement for the Israelites. Right, read.
Yet choose Israel,
right,
and set them in their own land.
These people have to go back to their own land. South America is not the homeland for the tribe of Asher. Right? North America is not the homeland for the Israelites. This is a prison camp for the Israelites. This is where the so-called white man has raped, robbed, and murdered and destroyed the Israelites. Physically, mentally, spiritually, right? Everything that this place was set up, it was for the destruction of God's chosen people. Right?
So you're saying because he's not from Peru, he's not going to make it to heaven?
No,
right?
Nobody's from Peru.
Sure, but I'm just saying, anybody outside of y'all ain't going to go to heaven. Ain't you trying to say that?
You're missing what I'm saying. You're very missing. So nobody's from Peru. Nobody's from America. Everybody has a biblical nationality. Right? Everybody has a biblical name. These people aren't from where it says they're from. They're from Israel. The so-called white man isn't from America. The so-called white man isn't even from England or Spain. He's from Edom. Right? So you've been lied to. Give me Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 18. Read on.
And we'll get to...
And I'm going to explain it. I'm going to clarify. But what I'm telling you is this is what's about to happen at the peak of World War III. World War III will be the last war and the last destruction that takes place before the new kingdom is set up.
That's right.
We read it in the Bible. Read on.
And we yet choose Israel.
He's going to choose Israel after World War III. And this is when the Lord comes back. Read.
And set them in their own land.
Right.
And the strangers.
Uh-oh. This is where everybody else comes in. The strangers that you do not see on this sign. Right? A stranger will be anybody outside of the nation of Israel. This includes the Chinese man, which his real nationality is a Moabite. This includes the Japanese man, which his real nationality is an Amonite. This includes all the African nations, which are Hamites, Cushites, right? This includes the so-called white man, which is an Edomite according to the Bible. And the strangers, read,
shall be joined with them.
They're going to be joined with the Israelites after the Lord destroys America in World War III by Kim Jong-un with the missiles that they have called Satan 1 and Satan 2. And the other nations that are going to destroy America. Read on.
Shall be joined with them.
Right, here's the kicker, read.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
The other nations, this is where you come in at. They're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Read on.
And the people,
which are the Israelites, what are they going to do?
Shall take them.
They're going to ask for them.
Shall take them.
Shall beg for them.
Shall take them.
These people are going to be given the power to do what? To reap everything that was sown on the earth. They were once slaves. They were once taken. Guess what? God is going to give them power to take, right? To have slaves. And the people shall take them
and bring them to their place.
Your proper place as a slave, you know.
And the house of Israel,
that is going to be in Jerusalem, you know,
shall possess them.
These people are going to do what?
Shall possess them.
We're going to possess the so-called white man, right? Who are we talking about? We're talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the elites that run the society who the world calls the Illuminati.
Right.
These people that hid the truth from you. Yeah, they're not gonna tell you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're not gonna tell you that you're an Edomite.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, all type of.
That
anarchy
makes sense
and
now.
chaos
That
is
makes
gonna be.
sense.
Yeah, North Carolina is known for the so-called Bible Belt. Why
And the
is it?
Rockefellers, they got Poppy on his
Yep, you see that? And that's true.
And the park,
They got
Garbage Falls.
what, Spring Lake. Where's that place where they play the golf tournament?
Palmer.
Pinehurst. This whole area is ran by the so-called Illuminati, the Rothschilds and the
Exactly.
Rockefellers. That's why it's a lot of demons here. This is a slave port. This is a slave
And
plantation.
this is a very
Yeah, this is a graveyard for
It's a
the
racist
Israelites.
city.
You're walking literally on the blood of God's chosen people, right? You don't think
It's
these
the worst
people are
city
going to
I've
get
ever lived in.
reparation?
I've been here all my life.
Right, read on.
Sorry,
And the house of Israel
Right?
shall possess them.
Shall what?
Shall possess them.
It's Bible prophecy. God says so-called black, Hispanic, and Native
Wow.
Americans are going to possess white people. Read on.
In the land of the Lord
For what?
for service.
For what?
For service.
What are they going to be?
For service.
What else?
And handmaids.
And handmaids. So, in the time of so-called slavery days, when a black man had to say, yes, sir, master, yes, sir, boss, the so-called white man is going to be saying that. Yes, sir, master, yes, sir, boss. I mean, because they raped, robbed, and murdered everything. How do you feel about what so-called white people have done
Then they're
to
going to
God's
humble
chosen
themselves
people?
later. They're going to humble themselves.
Huh?
They're going to humble
He says
themselves.
disgusting. How do you feel about what so-called white people did to the Israelites?
It was wrong.
Embarrassing, shameful, horrible.
It was very wrong. I have black people in my family. I see them the same as I am.
Why would you do that? Why would you see yourself the same as a so-called black man when they don't go through the same thing you go through?
No, I said, I see them as I have family members black. They're no different than anybody else.
Well, is that according to you or is that according to God?
That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, just
I'm
think
just-
about it. Hold on. Hold that thought. You said you see yourself as your black friends or your black relatives, and they're no different from everyone.
I see them as my family.
That's fine. But listen, how could you be equal to them when you don't go through what they go through?
You can't even understand. She's my, yeah.
Not in that,
It's
not
white
in that,
privilege.
not in that way.
It's privilege.
Read Deuteronomy chapter 14. Let's find out in the Bible.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 2. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord had chosen thee.
Chose everybody.
Had
Chosen thee.
Chose the Edomites.
Had
Chosen
chosen
thee.
thee
Only one chosen race of people chose the Israelites. Read.
to be a peculiar people
Right?
unto himself.
Read.
Above all the nations.
Above what?
Above
all the nations.
So, the so-called black woman is better than you. That's according to the Bible.
Right?
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not? Yeah, God said it.
To me, it's
We didn't say it.
Not only should it just be okay, just look at life. Who created everything? The car was created by a black man, a black woman, while they were in slavery. The internet was created by
the
the black
world
man.
don't want you to know that.
Yeah, the stoplight, the cell phone was created by the black
Just
Hispanic
like the
man.
lost books of the Bible,
Yeah,
they done away with that too.
Well, the Bible was created by so-called black people.
Where's the other parts of the Bible though that was supposed to
We have the Bible right
Right
here.
here.
So listen, go back to Isaiah chapter 14 and verse
be?
1.
The missing books.
It's too much knowledge. It's too much power. You can't.
Isaiah chapter 14
You know
and
why?
1.
Because I read one of them.
Hold on,
It was
what's your
about
name?
what the government was supposed to do.
What's your
for the
name?
people.
What's your name?
Yeah.
All right, Angie. Now, you're a so-called white woman.
White men, Indian.
All right, read it.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
So if you are from one of these tribes, your best bet is to repent and come back to God before World War III. This is your only option. Or you're gonna die when the FEMA camps start. You're gonna die when martial law kicks off.
Hey, and Raleigh
You're
has,
gonna die.
Raleigh has the big
Right,
boxes
read on.
for that. FEMA told me
And will
that.
yet choose Israel.
And you best believe they got it here. All these country lands and all of these areas that you can't go to, you best believe that they're here.
Y'all remember when that big hurricane
And
happened?
set them in their own land.
Right?
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Read.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel
shall possess them in the land of the Lord
Right?
for servants and handmaids,
Read on.
and they shall take them captives.
And they shall do what?
Take them captives.
So we're going to take you captive. Read on.
That's fair.
Take them captives, whose captives they were,
And they shall what?
and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's in the Bible. Thus saith the Lord. And that's coming back in a huge way.
That's right.
Give me Jeremiah chapter 30 verse. So you have to get ready for slavery. You have to tell all your so-called white people that literally raped, robbed, and murdered the so-called Native Americans. And then not only that, they stole their identity and called themselves Native Americans and paid $5 for it.
$5 Indian.
Paid $5
Well, you know, the
for
churches
it
don't
to
teach
take
them.
land, to literally steal the land. That's literally what it was for.
Forgive me.
Yeah, so what do you think God is going to do about that? Don't you know they suffer their own reservations
But
drinking
too,
liquor
y'all.
out of their mind because of that? Yeah, if I go inside of your house, I steal your wife, steal your children, take all of your money, and I just take care, you're going to go into a state of depression. Yeah, that's what these people are in, a state of depression. That's why the Lord said this.
But you
Read
know,
that.
they were the first.
Jeremiah chapter
was a black man.
30 and verse 16.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee
All they that devour thee,
shall be devoured.
all they that devoured the Israelites shall be devoured. Not only were we devoured physically, but mentally as well. Like there's an ideology in the earth that says if you have dark skin, you're African American. But there's many races on the earth that have dark skin. The Ethiopian man will never say he's an African American. What about the East Indian man that has a red dye? He'll never say he's African American. So just because those tribes in Africa sold us over here, that doesn't mean we're the same people. So you cannot say that the so-called black man started that in slavery. Like we don't.
Therefore, all they that devour thee
All those people that devoured us, all nations of people had us in captivity. And the main captive, or captor, is the so-called white man. All they that devoured thee shall what?
shall be devoured,
Read.
and all thine adversaries,
Right.
every one of them,
Shall what?
shall go into captivity.
So I have a question. Now, do you feel any remorse for what your forefathers did
Oh
to the
yeah.
12 tribes of Israel?
Oh yes.
You
Very
do?
much so. I've never liked it.
You've never liked it?
I've never liked
So in the Bible, God has instructions on what you're to do if your word is true. If
it. I
you
have
feel
I don't
remorse.
have anything to do with it because
See that? Now you don't have anything to do with it. So give me Isaiah chapter 4.
I don't.
Give me the book of Jeremiah. Right? Chapter 18, verse 32.
1832. Book of Jeremiah.
Isaiah chapter 4.
Chapter
Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 18.
32.
Give me Isaiah chapter 14, verse 18.
32:18.
The churches ain't gonna teach that stuff.
Read that.
Government don't want it in the churches.
Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21.
Right?
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
For the what?
For the
iniquity of their fathers.
Can you pay for something that your father did? Is God going to put the judgment on the children for something that their father has done?
Well, we had to live down here because of Adam and Eve.
Okay, with that ideology, can you pay for something that your fathers have
I
done?
think so.
All right, read it again.
Isaiah 14 and 21.
Can you be responsible for what your father has done, although he's not here? Read that again.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
For the iniquity of the father. So I asked you, I said, do you feel any remorse for what your people did to the Israelites? You said yes, you said yes. But the Bible has instructions on if that word is true or not. Right? Isaiah chapter
32 what?
18,
32:18.
verse 18.
Okay. This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands.
This is talking about God. He shows love and kindness to thousands.
and recompense the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children.
Meaning what? If your father committed a sin, he didn't get judged for it, he's not here anymore, that sin is going to fall into the lap of his children. Right? So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how remorseful are you about what so-called white people literally did to God's chosen people, the Israelites?
Very much.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, so I mean, is it 10, is it 7, is it 8, 5?
Yeah,
What is it?
We were all created in God's image.
You all over the place. You are all over.
To me, it's-
We bleed the same blood.
What is God's image?
I personally, I don't know, because I know whatever I
We are all made in the image of God.
Prove it.
I can't. But I mean, it sounds like you. I mean, this is interesting
I
to
mean,
me
He
because
created us with His hands. I mean, look at each one of us. We all have different everything.
Yeah, but somebody is on the earth have
Man
genetic.
can't create
yeah,
that.
it's different.
Somebody has genetic defects.
If it's genetic defects, that's
I mean, if you would
somebody's
look and
inferior.
see, it would be like, if I'm being honest, like the lighter of the race and any other species on the planet is defective. Like it's an albino, it's weaker. It can't.
it takes black and white to make every other.
No, it doesn't. It only takes black and white.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't have nothing. I get sunburned. I can't stay out in the sun long enough. Like it will burn me. That's how we, you know.
I think depending on the part of
You
the
understand what
earth
I'm
you
saying?
places because of the sun. That's why everybody.
This is just,
The book of
very
Job,
interesting, man.
chapter 30, verse 6.
All right, check this out.
To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth.
Who comes from the cliffs and the caves of the earth? Who did God set up for their homeland to literally be in the Rocky Mountains?
White man.
Right.
To stay out of the sun.
Exactly.
Get to
That's
right
where you're
outside the
supposed to
sun.
be.
Yeah.
Right? That's Genesis chapter 35. Your homeland is Mount Seir. That's literally the mountains. Right? Read on.
To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys,
Right?
in caves of the earth.
And caves of the earth is where you're supposed to be. If you leave Mount Seir and go anywhere else, you're in sin. And you're gonna destroy yourself. That's why the so-called white man goes everywhere and destroys everybody. There's a saying in the word that said, hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah.
Right, read on.
And in the rocks,
And in the rocks, read.
among the bushes, they braved. Under the nettles, they were gathered together.
Under the nettles, they gathered themselves together, read.
They were children of fools.
Right?
Yea, children of base men.
That's why they have a commercial. It says it's so easy that a caveman could do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a Geico commercial.
Yeah.
Right? Fred Flintstone. Right? At one point in time, before the Renaissance, there were Israelites who called themselves Moors at the time, who navigated so-called white people over to the Americas and sailed over here and literally had taught them how to bathe themselves, taught them how to read. Right? That was prior to the Dark Ages, which was when these people were in rulership, when they ruled over Spain, ruled over Ireland, England, France, right? This is where you put the fork on this side, that was us that created that. And we taught that to the Englishmen, right, that came over here and said, guess what? We're gonna kill off these Moors now. We learned our dignity, we learned how to do things, let's put them in slavery. That's literally what happened. Read on.
They were viler than the earth.
Viler than the earth, right, means what? You'll have sex with anything. America passed a law that says you can now commit bestiality. Look it up. Why? Yeah. There's some states literally in America where bestiality is legal. Yeah, Hispanic man didn't come up with that idea. Let's
Yeah.
bestiality. Yeah, no, man. There's literally laboratories and private places where the so-called white man gets his rocks off, man. Read on.
Verse 9, and now am I their song.
And now we're their song. Now they make fun of us. Look at that Negro man. Look at Kodak Black and all those rappers out there rapping about killing themselves. We're their song now. But yet, the Bible tells us who's the base man on the earth, who raped, robbed, and murdered everybody. So what's coming to the so-called white man? What's about to happen?
Whatever you deserve is.
You need Isaiah 49 and verse 23. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 23.
Hey,
Look at Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 23.
Our ancestors weren't like that.
And it reads,
Well, you can be a changing man. You can be a gladiator for your people right now. This second, are you going to be a gladiator for your people?
It's not bad, buddy.
Well, let's find out.
Isaiah 49 verse 23. And the kings.
Now, you said you'll be a gladiator for your people. Read Leviticus 19 and 11. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 11. All right.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 11. I can read. Like. Okay, verse 11. Ye shall not steal,
Right?
neither deal falsely,
Neither what?
neither lie,
Neither what?
Neither lie.
Now, you said you was going to be a gladiator. God said you can't lie. All right, that's going to be a sin to lie. So, read that.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 49, starting at verse 23. And it reads, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
Meaning, the roles are going to reverse. To nurse someone means you're a servant to them. That's right. Back in the slavery days, our children had to get raised. I mean, your children had to get raised by our women. That's where the term nanny comes from. Things of that nature. Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir, boss. The Lord said, in these days to come, they'll read it again from the top.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers.
Meaning, we're going to tell the so-called white man to jump. You're going to say, well, how high, master? How high, king, do you want me to jump? Khan, out of line. Yes, sir, my lord. Right, read on.
And their queens thy nursing mothers.
Now, this is going to happen whether you do it or not. So it's either you're going to make it to be doing this or you're not going to make it, because you had your chance at ruling and reigning the earth. And the earth has waxed worse in its pollution by the hand of the so-called white man. So now righteousness will be enforced. And this is how.
They shall bow down to thee.
They shall what?
They shall bow down to thee.
God said if you're truly sorry for what you did to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, you will bow down to the Israelites. And you said that you wasn't going to lie. And you said you felt terrible about it. So God said you will bow down to the Israelites.
My roommate, the one that was standing behind me.
Read it again.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee.
So are you going to do what God said, or are you going to do what you want to do?
Oh, I have no problem with that. I'm out right here right now.
I mean, this is what the Lord said. You living in the end of the world, and the Lord brought you up here, and the angels are recording this day to see whether thou doest.
How do you bow? You get on one knee and do like that?
Well, look at this. These are bows, right? This is total submission. You have to totally submit yourself to the will of the Father. That's what a real bow is.
If you was to get a pot of water right now, I would wash your feet on these streets. I don't care what you want.
No, this is what the Lord did. The Lord say, get a puddle of water and wash our feet. What did the Lord say? Read it again.
They shall bow down to thee,
right,
with their face toward the earth.
That's a real bow. So it's either you're going to do it and the angels record this day, or you're not going to do it. It's either you're going to be righteous and do what the Lord said, or it's either you're going to do your own thing. Right, read on. Hold on. You gotta. The verse gotta be read while you. If you want to totally have this submitted up to the third heavens, you have to do it while the verse is being read. All right. And now your word may go non and void because you said out of your mouth that you won't lie. And what you said, the Lord said you can't lie. Right. Read it one more time.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers.
Right.
And their queens thy nursing mothers.
Now this is only if you feel the remorse. We're talking about buck breaking. We're talking about lynching. Do you know what a lynching is? Yeah. Do you know that there's still lynching parties right now by the hand of the so-called white man? Are you Are you gathering up so-called white people and coming against other white people and say, hey, this is wrong, we can't do this to God's chosen people? I don't know no so-called white man that has fought against their other white colleagues and partners and said, do not do this to God's chosen people. I don't know no man that has ever done
I think they
that.
probably don't do it because of fear.
It's not about why they didn't do it. Nobody has done it. Right? Read it again.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
So God is waiting. So it's either you can say, oh, well, I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. Because that's the message. That's all we have for you.
Everything y'all ever says makes sense.
Listen, I can't help that I'm white. You know what I'm saying? And but
Me neither.
but
I
yeah,
can't
but
help
at the same time, I
my
understand
people did it.
that like being with her is like really opened my eyes to like the fact that like just because I just never thought about anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just whatever. And I know that what is common knowledge is it can't be real. You know what I'm saying? It's too new. So like I really have like a profound respect for what you guys are doing, trying to like teach like ancient real knowledge, and I appreciate it, I respect it, and I do feel terrible for like what is my white privilege. I can't. Like I'm sorry, I'm white.
Do you work?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have a so-called boss or manager?
Yes, sir. He's the only white person.
Yeah, well, you don't gotta explain it to me. I was just asking. Somebody might give an example. Now, if your manager wants to know if you've been working hard, what is it that you have to have done? Could you just say, well, yeah, I've been working hard?
No. I've welded for 19 years. I have worked only in Spanish. I have to like show that I will.
Well, yeah, the point is you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to have actions.
Yeah.
And the Lord said actions are weighed. So you can't just tell us, well, I respect
I
what you're doing. I love this and blah, blah, blah.
I get it.
It's not our job to say, okay, he respects what he's doing. It's not our job to care about that.
Yeah.
Our job is to tell you what to do according to the Bible. That's it. So it's either you get down with God or you're going to get killed by God.
That's right. That's what's going to happen.
That's it.
That's what's going to happen.
And for all these years, you've been accepting just lies from anybody.
Oh.
So, brother right here, you got to come back to the Lord as an Israelite. And my sister right here, Northern Kingdom, princess from the tribe of Asher. All of the Disney movies are made after you. Right? Yeah, Disney gotten rich. We probably can go into your lineage and your history, and you'll literally find out that you come from a royal line of princesses that reigned on the earth. That should make you upset. Like, hold on now. So you mean to tell me that America owes me trillions of dollars? But yeah, you gotta pay bills. And yet you don't know your nationality. You don't know who you are. So this should make you upset that all of this was in the Bible and they hid it from you on purpose.
On purpose.
This should make you very, very angry. Like, hold on. Tell me more. Who am I? Who's my forefathers? Who's my foremother? What did they do? How did they inquire the Lord? How did the Lord hear their prayers? That's what you should be saying. That's what you should be saying. All right, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. All right, this is not like a facade, a game, things of that nature. This is set up by the Heavenly Father. The Lord hid this right here for a time, but now it's back on the earth. All right, give me Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1.
Look at Isaiah chapter 3, starting at verse 1.
Right?
For behold, the Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts. And the Lord of hosts, what we're talking about is, talking about the angels and the Most High God that sends down lightning on the earth. The Most High God that destroyed everybody on the earth and only left Noah and his sons. We're talking about the Most High God that allowed Hurricane Katrina. We're talking about the Most High God that allowed the Atlantic slave trade. That's what we're talking about, right? Not this religious ideology of the Father. Read on.
For behold, the Lord of hosts,
do take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the state and the staff.
Jerusalem and Judah is the so-called black and Latino men. God took away the staff from them. The staff represents the power. You used to have ancient men from the tribe of Asher that can literally tell what time it's going to be, right? Your forefathers predicted the end of the world, the Aztecs and the Mayans, right? They literally predicted. Now, how did they do that? It's because they're Israelites, right? And it's in the scriptures that they would do that. It's literally in the Bible that your forefathers would literally do that. All right, read on.
The whole state of bread and the whole state of water. The mighty man, the mighty man, the mighty man.
Also, the mighty man was taken away. You know?
And the man of war.
Yeah, where the Aztecs at that had a whole colonization going on? You have to be a mighty man to have a colonization where you're over here by yourself. Right? You don't have to go to the water faucet to pick up water. No, they already have water supply. They have the food where they store it and store goods, and they know about the different seasons. These are mighty men that did this. This is your history. Read.
The judge.
The judges were taken away.
And the prophet.
The prophets were taken away from Jerusalem and Judah. Right, read.
And the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator.
And the eloquent orators, right? The great speakers of your tribe that spoke on your behalf. All of that was taken away because of our sin. So, how do you get it back? How do you get it back, brother? How do you get your rulership back? I mean, do you even want it? Do you even care about who you are and your heritage? Because guess what? If the Lord chose the so-called white man and he found out that his heritage was taken away from him, all hell would be breaking loose all over America. And if we had them in slavery, or we raped, robbed, and murdered them, and they just woke up one day and said, hold on, so the whole world belongs to me, they will burn this place down, man. They will literally burn this place down by their hands. But the so-called black man, he's asleep. What's all right with you, brother? Why is he? I mean, what do you mean?
I can understand all this slavery stuff, you know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about,
but what?
We're trying to get along.
You said what?
We're trying to get along.
Who's trying to get along? Will we ever get along?
Maybe. Don't you think it's working out?
No, it's not working out. Give me the book of Psalms.
What about your opinion?
Not with everybody. Everybody is not going to work out well.
My opinion is that
Everybody is not going to be the same, you know.
Give me Job chapter 20.
It's always going to be
21 verse 11.
Book of Psalms chapter 49. Start that verse.
21:11. Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 11. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sounds of the organ. They spend their days in wealth.
They spend their days in wealth, see?
And in a moment go down to the grave.
They spend their days of wealth. How can we be the same? It makes no sense. Right, read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 19.
And I'm going to just be honest, sister. You got to separate from this man.
She said, I know.
She said she know.
Yeah.
Damn. Right, read that.
Psalm chapter 55 verse 19.
Damn.
God power shall hear and afflict them, even he that abide of old. Selah, because they have no changes. Because they have no changes.
They have no changes. so they have no changes, man. And that's thus said the Lord, thus said the Holy Bible. So it's not a brother's word that's gonna save our people. We need the Lord, man.
Right? Verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
He broke the covenant.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Like this devil that was sitting right here, man. The words of her mouth were smoother than butter, right? Yeah, we're the same, and they saying that what they saying is true, right? So-called white man is good at enticing you. It's good. He's good at making you believe that he's your friend, right? He got a satanic spirit within him that's very befriending. And then for 1 second you say, well, he might be all right.
Stab you in the back.
That's what he's gonna rape you. Like, the second you think that he's all right, you're gonna bend over and get raped.
Buck broke.
Literally, right? You know?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But war is in their heart the entire time. Just like that devil that was standing up there. Right? Talking about this makes sense and I respect the ancient history and things of that nature. They probably heard this before, man. Like, probably heard this before. Now he's acting all confounded as if he's never heard it. Right? Isaiah chapter 25.
Look at Isaiah chapter 25. Starting at verse 7. And it reads, and he will destroy and dismountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. He will swallow up death and victory. And the Lord, Yahweh, Most High Power, will wipe away all tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For Yahweh has spoken it.
For who?
For Yahweh has spoken it. And it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our God.
This is everybody's God.
Lo, this is our God.
No, this is their God.
No, this is our God. We have waited for him.
We have what?
We have waited for him.
We have what?
We have waited for him. And he will save us. This is Yahweh. We have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation.
Book of Matthew chapter 16 verse 19. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
What did Yahweh shall say?
I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loose in heaven.
The book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have